Hello and welcome to the Quiver channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a splendiferous day and have a reason to smile. I'm back. It's been a while. This video is me going to be explaining what happened, why I disappeared. It's not you, it's me. It's all to do with the change in my circumstances and me starting to work on updating all my technology. Now, you got to remember, my updated technology, just going to give the dog a sweetie. There we are, baby. It all began early last year when I decided I could release some equity in the house and I could use that equity to refresh and reboot my system. I thought about getting a better mobility scooter. I thought about redoing some technology. I thought about all the things that I could do. And so we set about doing that. The problem came through two factors. The first factor was that I didn't realize just how long it takes to do what's called a conveyance, to do what's called to change a deed on a house. The protections that are in place are massive. Rightly so. I mean, when it comes to it, a house is different than any other purchase, any other actual transaction. It is where you live. And so I thought it'd take, a few weeks. This was my ADHD brain going, yep, I want to do this. It's simple. Let's just do it. No. Sometimes it can take years. So we started in November, and basically I was expecting 4 weeks. I was expecting 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I was expecting before Christmas. And this was just before things started to go bad in the AI section, in the cost of computers, and as you know, everything's gone through the roof. So, I have thousands of coping strategies to be able to function, to be able to do this, to be able to live, to be able to connect with people, things to keep me going every single day. The problem became when two factors. First of all, my brain wanted to open up and tell you all about it, all the financial stuff and everything, which is a bad idea. It very much would have made me a mark, made me a target of interest at the time. And unfortunately, it got to the point because as things went on from November, December, January, my brain's ability to compartmentalize. You see, I've always said, I can't lie. I don't have the ability to lie. I'm one of the few people in the world who can't tell a mistruth, who can't even do white lies. I can't tell some people something's going to be okay unless I factually know it. It's just the way my brain is. It can't be done. So, first thing that I had to stop was my streaming, because I knew that if I was streaming, there was a chance I would just click off and start talking about my bank and everything else now, which is also a bad thing. Now, normally I keep these things compartmentalized. My normal compartmentalization for information about me that should not be out there, like what phone provider I use, what internet provider I use, what bank I'm with, all these kind of informations, just like my electricity provider and all that shouldn't be out there because those things can be used by certain people. So, live communication via streaming and that was totally out. That stopped. That's when you stopped suddenly do that. Because I couldn't trust myself to not be playing the long dark, doing something online, having fun, just all of a sudden my brain would just blurt out everything. And once you say something on the internet, you can't take it back. So that was the first thing. And then I noticed that when I was making my daily vlogs, remember, I went from doing like 2, 3, 4, 5 vlogs a day to nothing. And I've been doing my vlogs for years. Hello, baby. Do you want another sweetie? You can have a sweetie. Oh, you can have another sweetie because you're a good boy. Do you want it? Yes or no? I'll put it on there because sometimes you like it somewhere where you'll have to get it yourself. So putting it up there means he has to get it himself. He'll get it himself, see? Yeah. I put him on the side and then he likes that. So I started to find out that I would have to redo my daily vlog 10 or 20 times because I'd start doing it and then I'd mention something I shouldn't be mentioning because those walls between my coping strategies and the real world were being broken down by how much stress I was on. Remember, I've always said to you that as an autistic person, change, even wonderful change, is a bad thing. Change, any kind of change in an autistic person's life, they see it's bad. It's a change. It breaks the routine. We don't like it. But, so even though this was, oh, you're going to have money to be able to buy all these things, until it actually happened, it began to degrade my ability to cope. So I stopped doing my vlogs because it was becoming exhausted. It was no longer a positive. It was no longer something that I did to make me happy, to help me every morning getting up, telling the world what's on my mind, getting it out of here and not throwing it at a wall was no longer working as a positive. It was becoming hard work. It was becoming something that was stressing me out even more. So I had to stop. I was still able to do a daily dump, but I did it on X. I did it on Twitter because there I could write down what I was going to say and then I could edit it before the world saw it. It wasn't an effort. So that's what I've been doing. If you go at @Calranth on Twitter, you will see these past months how much I've spent time-wise on there. And I've spent time on Discord as well. So that's why I was gone. Because this stress of this, because it wasn't just the fact of, oh, I've still got to wait, the solicitors, making sure money was going to places, making sure I'd done my ID stuff, make sure they had all the legal documents, all this kind of crap, meeting with people that I didn't know, even though my solicitor is awesome. The only reason I'm not going to mention the name of my solicitor is because, once again, need to know information. Don't want to put it out, but my solicitor absolutely fucking rocks, really does. Great solicitor. It was also, this is about the time when prices started to rise in computer parts. Now, I want to tell you something right now. I bought all my stuff now. I did it yesterday. My bank account is now went into the woohoo and back down to the budget everything because we don't have money situation in like 4 hours. And I will tell you this, that due to the rise in prices of computers parts over the last 2-3 months, if I had been able to buy all this stuff in October, I would have been able to buy all the stuff that I bought and get myself one of those big cabin mobility scooters. Unfortunately, I had to knock the nail on the head for the cabin scooters and stick with my Quingo, which is a better idea because I can take it everywhere. I'm going to do lots of videos going to Trentham Gardens and stuff like that. Now I'm back in the loop and things are now all working. Hello, baby. You're beautiful, aren't you, little puppy? Aren't you? Yes, he's a little puppy, little dog, aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh. Another sweet. Would you like it, sweetie? What's that? So, everything's settled now, but I've had to spend £10,000 more. And we're talking literally 4 months ago. I've had only 4 months have gone, and I had to spend £10,000 more to redo the entire house's computer systems and electronic systems than I would have back then. This is totally crazy and silly. And to the people who think that it's going to go back to normal, it's not. It's never going to go back to normal. If you can afford to buy computers right now, buy them. This may be the last generation, the very last generation you will ever see of what we class as the home computer. And I'm sorry to say that, but the simple fact is this. First of all, it isn't just memory chips. Everything is being gobbled up by these AI data centers. It's even the base things like tin and copper. The basis of every single electronic device in the world are being grabbed. There's companies right now. Gamers Nexus is doing some brilliant, absolutely brilliant videos on this, where they would normally have stock and be able to order copper and tin in for the circuit boards and stuff like that, and for the parts for everything. Oh, back in a sec. Oh, he wanted his bed out. Even those base things are now, instead of it being weeks. What's up? What's up? You shouldn't really have any more. I've got one more of your sweets for today. There. Have that. The thing is, even the base materials, whereas it normally would have like, oh, we'll order some and we'll get it in like a month's time or 3 weeks' time. Now it is 2-3 months, and it's creeping up further. There's a report that's come out that shows that almost 70% of consumer electronics creators, not just computers, but phones, peripherals, washers, dryers, DVD players, TVs, everything, almost 60 to 70% of them are going to go out of business because they cannot get the stock. And this may be the last consumer grade generation of hardware. That's why I'm building up as much as I can right now. Storage devices, not just SSDs or M2s, are now 3 times, 4 times the price they were. Mechanical drives, Western Digital has basically said that it won't be able to supply hard drives to consumers because it's all being bought up by the AI place. And people who are saying that, oh, the AI bubble was burst, even if it does burst, all of those data centers will not just disappear. They'll just be switched from AI to virtual computers. Then they will start trying to get you to rent a virtual computer instead of owning one at home. You'll have like a crappy little client or a thin client at home, and you'll have to hire a virtual computer to game. This is a very bad thing. It takes the control away from you and gives it to someone else. We are entering a dystopian era. We really are. I can't believe how much I had to spend to build a computer and to get all the bits and pieces that I wanted to get. And I had to cut out a lot of stuff. So, yeah. I'm reusing a lot of my old hard drives and things like that. I won't be selling any of my hardware from now on, because what I've got may be the last few bits and pieces we ever see. I know that sounds crazy, but take a look at the prices. Take a look at the way everything is shifting away from you owning anything. It works for the corporations. It works for the governments to think that you won't own a computer, that you will just have a client to a virtual system, because the governments can control that. The corporations can control that, can say what you can use, what you can see, what you can do. It's harder for them to do it if you've got a home computer, if you're running Linux, if you're doing anything on your home system. Why would they want to go back? Why would they want to go back to that? I know those people saying, oh, I'm not going to buy NVIDIA cards anymore. Bullshit. The simple fact is that NVIDIA cards are very good, and you not buying a graphics card from them makes them very happy, because that graphics card that you would pay, even if you bought a 5090, pay £3,000 for a 5090. The same manufacturing section that used to do that 5090 can instead sell a card to an AI data center for 50,000, 80,000. You're not hurting them. I'm sorry, you're not. This is one situation where using your consumers' rights and stopping buying stuff does in any way bother them. In fact, it makes them very happy. So we know the 60 series has been pushed back to probably next year and may not ever happen. We know that massive amounts of companies are, to survive, are twisting towards AI instead of consumer. And we know that most of NVIDIA isn't even going to send out memory modules paired with their GPU chips. Anyone who wants to make graphics cards will have to source your own, and there's none left. The Steam frame and the Steam game system, they're not dead in the water, but it's going to be very hard for them. They're trying to work out a price that they can stick to, and they don't have the buying potential. If I'll put it this way, Samsung has actually reduced, Samsung, Huawei, and all the other big phone manufacturers have had to reduce by like millions the amount of next year's phones they're going to make, because the stuff just isn't there. I wish I had better news. But yeah, this is my first video. I will be doing lots of videos from now on. I will do a video showing the technology that I picked up and explaining why I've bought each part, but I'm not going to do build a PC. I am building a monster PC, and I'll tell you what it's going to be like and what it's going to have in it. I'll do that, but I'm not going to stream or live building the actual PC, because when I build a PC I need to focus completely on it. It's hard enough for my brain to focus anyway. I can't be looking at a chat or doing a video and thinking. When I build that PC, I need to be zeroed in on it 100% and make sure I don't jump ahead and miss something in that. So I will be taking my time and doing every part of it. Everything else that comes, I will do videos on. Today you may see quite a few videos today on different systems and why I decided on them and what they mean to me and what they're going to be used for. So, well, I'm glad that I'm back. Bye-bye for now.